Hey, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal Podcast. Happy Thursday, or as others say, Friday Eve. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harding. Glad to be back with a new and exciting episode and looking forward to my next guest. Before I bring her in, hit my music. Let's get it. All right, once again, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Hardin. Glad to be back with another great episode. Happy Thursday, September 11th. We send our prayers to all those that were affected by 9/11. We always in remembrance of this special day as well. And like I said, prayers and thoughts to all the families and all those that were affected by that day. But you can follow the show on all the podcast platforms, whether it is Spotify, Apple, we're on YouTube, BS3 Network, BS3TVLive.com, BS3 Network Roku channel as well. And you can find it on you can find me on all the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky. All right, well, let me bring in my guest. Glad to connect with her and everything too. She is a reporter and anchor on Good Day Philadelphia, so home of the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, Fox 29 Philly as well. Also, she's a Buffalo Wing enthusiast, so we're going to talk about that as well. So, Morgan Parrish, welcome to the show. Really appreciate it.
Hey, Courtney, thank you for having me. And I'm so glad that you mentioned Buffalo Wing enthusiast because that is me.
Yes, yes. We're gonna talk about that too. Buffalo, I think a lot of people do love buffalo wings. So it's
That's what I'm saying. And there's some good wings in Philly.
yes, a lot of good wings, good food here in Philly. So, but thank you for coming on. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, let's get started. Let's talk about my first question. I always ask my first time guest on the show, who is Morgan Parrish, and talk a little bit about your background, a little intro of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, who is Morgan Parrish? That's a loaded question. There's a lot to
Yes,
me.
yep.
Yeah, so just a fun girl living in Jersey, living her dream job right now, likes to laugh, likes to watch movies, always smiling, always positive, has a great outlook on life. But yeah, I just started at Fox 29 about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And so it has been 9 years since I've been able to come home, like on this news journey, right? So
Yeah.
I've been moving all around. After college, which I went to Rutgers, I actually started my career in Fargo, North Dakota, which
Oh,
is
okay.
crazy. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
cold. I
Yes.
feel that was like the city where I feel like my journalism professors were like, "You're gonna have to start here," and I'm like, "No, I'm starting in New York." And then it's like,
Mm,
"Nope, here I go, Fargo, North Dakota."
yeah.
I was there for 1 year, and then I moved to Wilkes-Barre, Williamsport area for like a couple years in Pennsylvania. And then I went to Cincinnati for 3 years, which I loved. It was a hidden gem. I had a lot of fun out there. And then I was in Orlando for 2 years, and now I landed back home finally in Philadelphia. So
Welcome back to
thank
the city
you.
of brotherly love, and yeah, welcome back to Philly. And like I said, saw you on Good Day Philly and Good Day Philadelphia and on Fox 29. Watched it. I watch them all the time, and yeah. So
Oh,
as you said, yeah, for sure. There's you're a South, you said South Jersey native, and you said you call Fox 29 is your homecoming. What is it about reporting on in this specific market feels different from you said from South Dakota,
yeah.
from in Cincinnati and Orlando.
Yeah, something just about being home. And this is the city that I grew up in, right? Like my dad's
Yeah,
from Philly, my grandmom's from Philly, all my cousins and, relatives from my dad's side, they're from the city. I've spent summers here. I'm a big Philly sports fan. And
Mm.
so there's something about telling stories in the community that I grew up with and that I love, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, I've loved all the cities that I've worked in, but it just feels different. It feels special. And you just feel the love from Philadelphia. And I don't know if I'm biased because, again, like, this is my city, but I really just feel the love. Even when I came back, everybody was just so welcoming me. I mean, just like messages, like on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Everybody was just so kind, just like welcome me back home with open arms. And so, that made me feel good. And so it just feels special. It feels like a dream come true, honestly.
Yeah, yes. And as we know, this city, I've been living here for 12 years, I think. Yeah, 12. Yeah, 12 years. I'm originally from upstate New York and moved here in 2013. So, and I love it.
Yeah.
Love the city and the people, the culture, and a lot of different things. And something's always happening every day, but especially.
Every day there's something happening. And I like that you said the culture, like that's real. Like I
Mhm.
love the culture of Philly, and you just don't get that anywhere else. And people in Philly, they're gonna keep it real with you, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
might not always like what somebody has to say, but they're gonna
yeah,
keep it real. And I like that Philly is a city where people are actually from Philly, right? They grew up
yeah,
here, they're still
yeah.
living here. Like when I was working in Orlando, it felt like a melting pot. Like nobody was really from Orlando. And so it was
Mm,
just like
mhm.
people from all of these different cities that came together, which is cool, but it didn't feel like it was like their home. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
right,
so
right.
that's why, coming back here feels special. I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm with my tribe.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and it's like you said, it's more. Yeah, there's so many people that's born and raised here in Philly or Jersey. I mean, Delaware. I mean, there's so
Yeah.
many different areas. Um, hour away, some are 20 minutes away at Jersey,
Right.
so it's really over the bridge, and you're right in Jersey. So
Exactly.
yeah, it does feel like you said. It does feel like it feels home.
Right.
It just feels very home. And talking about that. Um, the storytelling. I know that's how much important that is to you. In some of those smaller markets like Cincinnati, like Orlando, compared to Philadelphia, what's the difference have you seen when it comes to your storytelling when you got back here, like I said, compared to Orlando and Cincinnati and Fargo?
Yeah. In those smaller markets, obviously every story is important, right? Like
Yeah,
giving
yeah.
everybody a voice. A market like here in Philly, I don't know, you feel compelled to, I guess, want to make a change more. And again, I don't know if that's because I'm from here, but you really being back home makes me want to make a difference more so in my storytelling, right? Because I know the community. I know, the different neighborhoods in Philadelphia. I know the people that need a voice, that want to speak up. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
it kind of urges me to want to like get their stories out a little bit more or like help those communities. Obviously, you want to do what you can in every news market, right? Every city
Right.
that, I mean, like I said, I loved Cincinnati and I loved Orlando. And oddly enough, I loved Fargo.
Hey, you loved
But
all the places you loved all the places you've been, and you said
yeah.
you make it home once you get somewhere, you make it home. So yeah.
Right, right. Yeah. And so I don't know, it just like it feels a little bit more, I guess, motivating.
Okay.
I feel like I have this responsibility to share my stories well with this community here in Philly. I guess because the city just means so much to me that you want to do a good job. You want to make
Mm,
the community
mm,
proud. You want to make your viewers proud. I want to connect with them on a deeper level and let them know, like, hey, like, I'm here for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know exactly what you're going through, or like, I
yeah.
understand this problem, or like, I want to give you a voice because I get it. And so it just makes you a little bit more hyper focused on your
Mm.
storytelling and like making sure that you're like doing it well, really.
Yeah, and then like Philadelphia is a faster paced market compared to some of the other ones. How does that make it different in a way? Does it make it more? Does it make it either more difficult if it's more fast paced than somewhere like, let's say, like somewhere like Fargo?
Yeah, I don't think it makes it more difficult. Um, Honestly, if anything, it's a little bit easier. I mean,
Okay.
when I think
Okay.
about those smaller markets, back in the day, I was a one man band, right? And
Yeah.
so I was going out there by myself, like getting the story, writing the story, editing it, and like going live, like shooting my own things. Like I was doing everything myself, and that was a lot. And now I get the Philly. Well, one is it's just like impossible for me to like go out and do all that on my own. So I really have a
Right.
team around me. I have my photographer with me every day. I have my editors, I have my writers, I have my producers. And so it's really a team effort. And so it actually doesn't feel, even though it's a much bigger city and, we're top five market, it doesn't feel more difficult. If anything, it feels great. And I'm so grateful that I have like, these team players with me to like get the job done.
Yeah. That's it for sure. You have a team, like you said, that's just show, but it also shows your versatility. And I know you have described yourself as versatile, which you are, because you said you did editing, you do your writing, shooting, all these things that you do. And I think even in media in general, you have to be versatile. And he said you were a one woman band back then, and then even still, you still do your own writing, still do your own thing. How is being versatile, covering breaking news, switching from even with sports? We'll get into the sports in a minute. What's the process like of kind of switching from sports to news to something that's very serious, something a fun story? What's that
Yeah.
process like to cover and be versatile, covering such different topics?
Right. I would say you just have to be ready for anything. When I wake up, so I wake up at 1:45 a.m.
Mm.
and
It's
I'm
early.
going in. I know it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going into the studio by 2:30, and like I'll give you an example for today. My story, I was on Charlie Kirk, who
Yeah.
was shot and killed yesterday, and
Yeah.
I got sent to Villanova because they had the chapter of his organization, on campus, and so.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that from 4 a.m. until 8 a.m. And then I switch gears and I'm covering a new French restaurant that opened in Delaware. And then I'm going back to the studio and I'm co hosting a show where we're just talking about fun, hot topics. So I think the biggest thing is to like just be ready for whatever, but
Yeah.
also don't get too wrapped up in your stories, right? Because I could have taken that story with Charlie Kirk, which is a very sad and depressing story,
Yes.
and I could have let that expression, show on my face when I'm trying to highlight this new restaurant in Delaware, right? And so I think it's like also taking the moments to like breathe, like
Mm.
decompress, and then on to the next, right? Because you have to. You can't, just be stuck on one thing all day. You
Yeah.
gotta you gotta keep it moving. And so I think that's my biggest thing, like just, being ready for whatever and like being up for the challenge of like what they're gonna throw at me for the day, and just roll with it.
Yeah. Like you said, just showing the versatility because, as we said earlier, it's there's so much happening here in Philly.
Yeah.
You can't. It's hard to. We always try to find like different things to do. It's like we can't be everywhere. We don't know. We're like, oh my god, I didn't know this event happened. I didn't know this
Right.
event happened. But it's like you can't be it everywhere at the same time. Wish we could, but
Right. There's a lot going on.
there's a lot going on. And I'm sure for storytelling. And I saw that you did something at the Reading Terminal Market also, right? Were you
Oh
just there,
yeah.
right?
So I did that the other day. Yeah, I'm like going around Reading Terminal Market, like,
Mhm.
asking people who their celebrity doppelganger is. Like the other day I'm talking about Schwarber's, 50th home
I see.
run. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
Eagles beating the Cow. It's just like every day is different. But like I
Yep.
think also just like keeping a positive attitude, like when you wake up each morning, like I genuinely get excited to go to work because I'm like, okay, what do I get to cover today in the
Yeah.
city?
Yeah.
And so I think just having a good attitude like keeps you going and helps you be able to like switch gears more easily.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And like you said, you've been here now what a month? You said a month and a half.
About a month and a half. I
About a month and
started,
a half.
yeah, my first day I believe was July 28th.
Okay, so a month and a
Yeah,
half back, and you said Good Day Philadelphia. You said starts early in the morning and
very.
throughout the morning and everything too. How has that experience been on Good Day Philly, where they just seem like they're always having a good time? and
Yeah.
everything. And so I'm like, how do they got so much energy that early in the morning?
I
But
know.
but they're covering the news and they're in weather and the sports news and things like that, and always having some fun things going on. And you said you're up at that early, but how has that experience been so far in the month and a half it's been
Yeah, it's been amazing,
there? Hmm.
honestly. Like, it truly feels like a dream come true. For me, this is what I prayed for. When I was leaving Orlando and I knew I was looking for a new job, and I was praying and I was asking God, I was like, God, like I don't just want like any reporter or anchor job. Like I really want something that's gonna fit me, that's gonna like fit my personality, that's gonna let, my personality shine through. And this is exactly what it is. We have fun. I like to laugh. I like to have a good time. I like to bring people, some positivity in the midst of, the sad and terrible news that we have to deal with sometimes. But it's been great. Like I said, I love my team, like my producers, my anchors, like everybody, like from my first day, everybody has just been like so kind, like,
Yeah.
just so welcoming, and it makes you feel so good. Every day is different, and we have a lot, as I just said, we have a lot of different shows. We have a bunch of after shows and
Yeah.
podcasts, and
Yep.
I'm hopping on them each day, and it's always just like fun topics, and like it makes it enjoyable going to work. I mean, I don't know who's waking up at 1:45 saying I'm ready to work, but like I genuinely am so happy, and I'm just like so grateful because our team is really fun. Everybody
Yeah.
knows Good Day Philadelphia, and you never know what is about to happen on the
Yeah.
show. You just don't know.
You just don't who's gonna pop up, who's
Right.
gonna where you're gonna be. As you said, you could be somewhere, and you could be anywhere on a beach
Anywhere.
somewhere. You could be somewhere in the city,
Right.
somewhere outside of the city. I mean, you just don't know. You're like, okay, I'm here. Whatever you
Yeah.
need me to cover, I'm definitely I'm here, and this is what it is at 8 a.m. or you could be at a school, could be
Yeah.
somewhere different. I think that's cool, and you're pretty active on social media too. How do you find story leads for that to connect with the audience? Because like
Yeah.
you said, sometimes the audience they'll tell you Philadelphia, they'll tell you how it is. We said
Right.
that,
Right.
and
It's true.
but how do you connect with that with the audience of finding like stories and what's it like important stories?
Yeah, honestly, social media, like you said, I
Hmm.
am very active on social media, and that has kind of been my biggest thing coming home. I've really been trying to connect with the viewers on social media. So a lot of people actually like DM me story ideas. They'll message me. I mean, we connected on social media.
Yeah.
They'll send me story ideas, or like, I'll see what's happening in the city, or honestly, just like being out in the community too. Like I'll be at the hair salon and I'll hear somebody like talking about something, and I'm like, oh, that could be a good story idea. Or like the nail salon, or like even being at one of my stories, I'll meet somebody there and like connect with them, and then they'll tell me a story to go from there. So it's just like a whole lot of connectedness. But I'm not one of those people where I don't answer my messages. Like if somebody messages me and I happen to see it, and I'm like, oh, this could be good. I'm gonna look into it, and I'm gonna be like, hey, like let's get you on the show, or like, hey, let's try to set this up if we can. So I love social media for that aspect.
Yeah, and that's the good part about social media too.
Yeah.
Is like you said, connecting. The algorithm came through on Instagram. Through must maybe we follow maybe some of the same people, and that's when I reached out to you, and like immediately you were like, "Hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's connect, get to know a little bit about the podcast, things like that." So I was very grateful that we were able to set a date on this. All right, one more, and then we'll get into a few fun questions before I let you go about just the media, the landscape of journalism and media. We had a lot of different things that's happened over over time. Layoffs and things like
Mhm.
that. Uh, Political things that they don't trust the media and all that too. From your perspective, being part of multimedia, social media, and media in general, what do you think of how media has been portrayed just in the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's been tough, right? It's
Yeah.
because it's been a lot of political things happening,
Mhm.
a lot of racial things happening.
Yes. Yes.
And I hate when people are just like constantly bashing the media, right? Because
Yep.
at the
Me
end of
too.
the day, I mean, for the most part, we are all just trying to do our jobs, right? Like we are just trying to spread the facts. And so it's definitely hard. I hate that, us as journalists sometimes like do get a bad rep because it's like we are just trying to do our jobs. The biggest thing for me is, and I think a lot of journalists feel that way, especially Black journalists, like, finding your tribe of people that you can lean on. Like, for example, I'm a part of the National Association of Black Journalists, and I remember, like, even during COVID times and like the pandemic and like Black Lives Matter movement, it was like just this unknown. Like, a lot of us would like get together on Zoom and we would have like prayer meetings, or we would just like talk and like vent about like what we were going through. And I feel like that is like what kept us going, and like just knowing to like block out the noise, right? Like block out that negativity. We're always going to get hateful emails or comments or messages or whatever, but I feel like if you can just block it out, like not let it get to you and keep moving, like, you're going to be solid. Because yeah, we are in a time where, the news is perceived as fake or not true, and it's just like, why? Because we're,
Because you're
you
doing
know
your job, right? Right.
yeah. So I personally, I let it go in one ear and out the other, and like I know what I'm focused on and like the dreams and goals that I'm pursuing. And so for me, I don't let it affect me. And if I ever did feel like I was getting to that point, like I said, I have my tribe that I lean on, and like, my group of friends and like others in the industry who are like, we got you. Like, we're all like in this together, and like we're gonna keep thriving.
I love that. Very well said. And I think we need that type of communities. Good, there's good people around you to keep us grounded for one, and we go through so much. Like I said, there's been these past few years. There's been a lot of heaviness, and even with
Mhm.
just the events that happened yesterday,
Yeah.
and it just showed a lot of different things that has been happening. When something like this happens, a tragedy happens like this, from all sides comes out, and it's like, man, I mean, social media yesterday was something else.
It was a lot. Oh my gosh, I know. Even this morning, I was waking up and I was scrolling and I was like, oh, this is draining.
Yeah, it can be for sure. And sometimes you just like we like to. I'm active on social media. I just like to kind of just scroll through social media, see what happened over the overnight and things like that. And here it goes. Here comes all the negative things. And like I
Right.
say, you can't separate from it, but it's just the fact that you know we just want some positivity and
Right.
and
Yeah.
everything. And I know you bring that, and you bring that, and I think it's great that we're able to do that. And you're right, journalism has gotten a bad rap, but we have good journalists that are bringing the truth and the facts. That's all we want to hear. That's all we want to see.
Right. Yeah. And like, I know for me, like, I've always said this because I've been doing mornings for a while, at least
Mm.
the last, let's see, like 5 years, I believe. And like, I've always said, like, I want to be the person that's like bringing you some positivity or smile, like while you're waking up and like getting ready to go to work. Right. Because
Yeah,
like that sets the tone for the day.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
for
can
sure.
come home from work and turn on, the evening news and see all the bad things that happen throughout the day.
Yeah,
But I'm like, if you can
yeah.
at least start on a good note, then I did my job.
Yeah, and then it's interesting too because my wife, she talks about this all the time when the news comes on, 6 o'clock news or 11, and it's like the first 5, 6 stories is something negative or anything like that. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, here we
Here we
go.
go.
She's like, okay, I got to turn it and
Right.
everything too. But I like I say being like journalist or just I want to hear the news, but it's like okay, there's going to be something positive come out of it. But I know you got to cover all angles when it comes to the news. You got to cover it all, whether it
Right.
is devastating news or anything like that. It's got to be told. Yeah,
Yeah. There's a
for
little
sure.
diamond in the rough,
Yeah, 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 for sure. All right, let's get into some light-hearted stuff. Thanks for sharing all that as
Of course.
well. That's like I know, like I said, with your social media, shows a lot about movies, cooking, just working out. How do you find that balance to do some of the personal hobbies? Like you said, you get up early in the morning and things like that. But what's some of the things you like to do? Like some of the things you love to do outside of the news?
Yeah, I'm a big movie person.
Hmm.
So to
Okay.
me, like going to the movies, like that is my escape, right? And
Mm.
I'm like still one of those people, like I still like actually like going to see a movie in theaters,
Yep.
like getting my
Me too.
popcorn, like watching a movie on the big screen. So like for me, that's my escape. Or like even if I'm watching a movie at home, because it's just like, you know, like we just talked about, sometimes like your days are really heavy and draining, and then it's like, let's just get lost in a movie. So I like to go to the movies. I like to cook and like try new restaurants or like try cooking a new recipe. To me, that's very relaxing, like a little 90s R&B music playing while,
Ooh, okay. All right.
while I'm
Yeah.
doing
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just say movies, cooking, working out is like also like a really big like stress reliever for me. So I try to dedicate like an hour and a half to working out if I can, like a few times a week. Whether that's like running or even just like walking or just doing like, you know, 45-minute or like an hour workout. I do that. I'm not thinking about anything, you know, I'm listening
Yeah.
to my music. And those are kind of just like my escapes. And on the weekends, you know, I'll hang out with my friends or like my sister or like whoever. And then, you know, weekday hits and I'm back on the grind. But like, I don't let my work consume me. Like, I'm very much one
Mm.
of those, like, when I'm home from work, I'm not looking at my work phone.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not scrolling through emails, like, because you have to, like, for your mental health, or
Yeah.
it will, like,
Oh yeah.
it will take over your life. And, you know, it's so cliche, but life is too short. And
Yep.
I'm just not doing that. Like I do when I'm on the clock, I'm doing work and I'm doing it well. And when I'm home, I'm like, okay, like it's time to just be Morgan.
Detach from that. Yeah. Yes. I'm totally with you on that. You got to detach from your work until home, because if I work from home, so my work is at home, but I try to detach from all of that,
Yeah.
from work, because you're right. I know some people from my job, their work follows them throughout. I'm like, hey, I'm on vacation. I'm not or anything. I'm not looking at emails. I'm not looking
That's what
at
I'm
work.
saying.
Yeah, I'm not one of those ones. It's just, I
Yeah.
know some do. Unless I'm going for something for work, that's different.
Right.
But if
Exactly.
if it's vacation or it's weekend, no.
Oh, vacation. Oh, it's a wrap. Vacation, my work phone is on airplane mode the whole vacation, not just
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
flight. Like
Yep,
you
yes,
cannot reach me.
for sure, for definitely. All right, well, since you say, okay, movies, cooking. All right, so what's your favorite couple? Yeah, I know we all have more than one favorite movie or movie genre that you like.
Oh, that's so hard. That's so hard. I would say movie genre or movie. I'll just name some movies. Like I love Harry Potter, so I like love
Okay.
all the Harry Potter movies. I love like a good rom com,
Mm,
Brown
okay.
Sugar, like
Mhm.
Love and Basketball, Deliver Us from Eva. Like those are like my comfort movies.
Yeah.
I love Marvel, so you know any
Ooh,
Marvel movie,
ooh, okay.
I'm there. Like big Avengers girl, big Spider-Man girl, Black Panther, anything Marvel. Like I'm seeing it on the big screen in 3D.
All right. Well, okay. Now, all right, now we got a big. I'm a big Marvel fan too. So this is where, okay, there's a connection right here.
There
Big
we
Marvel
go.
fan. Okay. All right. Favorite. Okay. Favorite Marvel movie of all the. Yeah, I think last I counted 30,
It's so hard.
36, 37. If you could pick your top three, what's your
Oh,
top
that's
three Marvel
so
movies?
hard.
Put you on the spot.
Spider-Man's always going to be in there.
Yep.
And like 2003 Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
Toby. Yep.
Like
Hmm.
always will watch that. Avengers Infinity,
Got it.
and probably Black Panther, the first
Okay.
one.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I always have. I got Black Panther in my top four, five.
Okay.
Depends on the day. Depends on the day. My list always changes. But
Yeah.
Black Panther is always in the top five. The first one, like you said. Endgame's my favorite MCU
Endgame,
movie
I
of all
know. I'm
time.
always torn. I love Infinity and
Yep.
Endgame.
Yep. So Endgame, Infinity is two. Uh, three for me is a Spider-Man No Way Home. That was the last Tom Holland one. Yeah, No Way Home.
Okay.
That's number three. And then I like Captain America Winter Soldier, and then it's usually Civil War, Black Panther. So
Yeah.
that top five, top three usually stay the same, but the rest just always kind of,
Right.
man, we could have done a whole section on
I
Marvel
know, right? I'll
for
have to come
sure.
back and we'll talk
Yeah,
Marvel.
we
What
have to talk
about
Marvel.
Spider-Man Homecoming?
Oh, love Homecoming. I love all three of those. No Way
Yeah.
Home, Far From Home, Homecoming. Love all three of
All of
those.
them.
All of
Okay.
them. Yeah, all of them. And so, what do you think of the state of Marvel now? Since it's been kind of
Yeah,
It's kind of weak in
I know. We need like a really we need a really good one to like just like blow everybody out of their seats because they've
yeah,
just a little bit like mediocre. You know, like I
yeah,
can only
very mediocre.
remember the last one that I saw that I was like, wow, like that was so good. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
but they come in waves.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
do. They totally do. I think the last one that I thought was really good was Thunderbolt. That was the last one. That
Thunderbolt.
was
I don't even think I saw that one.
okay. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus now, and that's with um, Jelena, Black Widow's sister. They was at the group. They were there. There was a team. It was them,
Yeah.
and yeah. So that was pretty good. We saw that in here. That was
Okay.
good.
I didn't
Um,
love Black Widow.
no, I didn't know that they did Black Widow kind of wrong too. Yeah,
I
I didn't really
know.
like that either. So.
Yeah.
But the last really good movie, I would say, might have been No Way Home Spider-Man.
Really.
Probably. Yeah, I think so. For
Wow.
me, I think that was the last really. I love Shang-Chi. Those were the last two real good ones. I
Yeah.
thought, in my opinion. But other than that, I wasn't a fan of like Love and Thunder, Eternals. I think they were all bad. And
Yeah. There hasn't been any good
yeah,
ones.
the Marvels, all those were, there was good parts in some of them, but there a lot of those are really bad. So yeah,
I know.
we can go on and on with
I
Marvel.
know.
I can talk Marvel all day. So yes, yeah, big Marvel fan. But all right, you also talked about cooking. What's some of your favorite meals that you like to cook?
That I like to cook. I love to cook salmon. I probably cook
Ooh,
salmon like twice a week.
okay.
I really like to make sausage and peppers. Like,
Mm,
it's light, it's easy, will last a few days. I'll add that with like a little salad. I'd like to make dirty rice, chicken wings. Like, I'm not to toot my own horn, but I am a good cook. So, I,
okay.
yeah. I'm like, honestly, I'm kind of thinking like what I want to eat tonight. It's kind of hungry.
We're talking about this food. It's gonna make us all
That's what I'm saying.
yes, yes. I mean, that's cool. And as you said, you're a big buffalo wing enthusiast and
Yes.
everything too. So, all right. And what type of buffalo wings do you like? Crispy or a sauce? Like what type of buffalo
Well, first of all wings matter. So
wing?
I like crispy, I like baked.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, I just like regular like hot buffalo, or like I'll do like a spicy garlic
Yeah.
or like a hot and honey. Not like a big
Okay.
barbecue girl, but
Mm,
like I like my spices.
okay. All right. Yeah,
A
that's
little
nice.
lemon pepper here and
Yeah,
there.
lemon pepper, wings. Yep. I love barbecue wings.
Yeah.
Boneless mostly. So that's
Boneless.
yes. I love the boneless
See, I
wings.
need the
Yes.
real one.
Oh, okay, yeah, the rub. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't mind them, but I like boneless.
I like the boneless.
Yeah, yeah. I would like all wings. Yeah,
That's
really
so
all
funny.
wings for sure. All right, two more, and I'll let you go. You said R '90s R&B. I grew up with '90s R&B, and just been going back listening to a lot of it too, and everything too. A couple of your favorite artists on either side could be male, woman, man. Who's some of your favorite artists in '90s in the '90s?
In the 90s, oh man, I love my male R&B groups. So like big Jodeci girl,
Okay,
uh,
okay.
Drew Hill,
Mm,
Silk, H
mm.
Town.
Ooh, Silk,
I'll listen
yes.
to all of them like all the time. Also love Joe
Okay.
and
Yep.
yeah, Maxwell, and who else? Those are like probably my favorites. And then as far as women, I love SWV. Like
Mhm.
I can listen to
Yeah.
SWV every single day. Mary J. Blige,
Yeah. Real R&B. Yes.
real R&B. It's not the
Hmm.
same anymore. Like my
It's
my
not the same.
playlist that I listen to the most is literally my 90s R&B playlist, and it is like probably over 100 songs. And I just put it on shuffle like every day.
Yeah. Yes. I've been lately over the last month or so just going back listening to a lot of '90s R&B too, and just on YouTube, just let it run. And it's like you said, so many. You said all those artists from you
Yeah.
said Mary J, SWV, and Jodeci, Voice to Men, whoever,
Yes.
whatever. Yeah.
And Vogue. I forgot In
In
Vogue
Vogue,
is
in
there.
Vogue, yes, yes. Skate.
Yes.
Just so many. Randy, Monica, like they're
Hmm.
on tour
I
now.
know. I kind
Randy,
of want
Monica.
to go.
I know they're not. I wish they would have been here. They didn't have no dates here. I think it's in Jersey though. I think they have a couple dates in Jersey, Atlantic
Oh,
City.
I might have to look that
And
up because
yeah,
I would love to see them.
yes, oh, love Monica and Randy for sure,
Yeah, me
and
too.
everything too. You said Jodeci, so put on the spot. Jodeci or Boyz II Men?
Jodeci. I'm going with
Yes.
Jodeci.
Okay. Okay, I usually go more towards boys to men, but I don't think either answer is
I
wrong.
know every
That,
answer is right. Like, because back in the day, I would have said boys to men, and like then I switched, and I just love Jodeci, like a little stay, like forever my lady, like ooh, so good.
yes. Oh my goodness, so good. I mean, man, we got a lot in common for sure.
I know.
Definitely a lot in common. Last one that I want to dive on with the Eagles,
I was about to
and
say we didn't get to the Eagles
yeah,
yet.
got to talk little Eagles. This was the last one. Eagles, and they start out 1-0. Very strange game.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
the first few minutes with the whole spitting and
yeah,
with Jalen Carter. Then you had the injury first, and then Jalen Carter getting kicked out of the game, spitting on Dak Prescott, and then the weather delay and
yeah.
everything too. What do you think of the performance, and what are you looking forward to? Any concerns with that for the first game?
I mean, it was kind of close. I would have liked
Yeah,
the score to been a little bit
yeah,
higher,
yeah.
but I think there were a lot of factors, right? Like it was rain, it was the bad weather, the whole Jalen Carter thing. I mean, we can't lose Jalen Carter.
No,
He fumbled a little bit getting suspended that game. I mean, thank goodness that we won, but it was just like,
yeah,
I thought
yeah,
that was a little bit silly. But no, I don't have any concerns. I'm excited for them to play the Chiefs this Sunday.
yep.
I think we're gonna win, and I love that we're coming off of a Super Bowl win because I think we still have that fire, And so, if anything, I'm excited. I'm not concerned. Now, I hope they don't prove me wrong. We know how it is being a Philly sports fan. It's a love
Hmm.
hate relationship.
It is for sure, especially with Eagles.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no, I'm excited to see Hurts again do his thing, and obviously Saquon, and hopefully Jalen Carter can keep calm, cool, and collected moving
yes,
forward, and not let people like Dak Prescott get him fired up.
yes,
We
yes.
don't need any more suspensions. Like we don't need any more fines. Like okay, you got it out of your system now. Like let's play.
Let's play now. Yeah, and then I thought he was actually gonna get suspended. I'm glad he didn't,
I thought so
but
too.
I thought at least get a game. I thought the Eagles were actually going to suspend him. Once the NFL didn't, that's what the Eagles would put him on. But he might not start the game. I know they were
Yeah,
talking. Nick Sirianni was talking about that, Coach Sirianni, and but yeah, I think Jalen played real well.
yeah.
Um, he played under control and things like that. So yeah, losing Jalen Carter really put a damper. They got the win, like you said, and
Like
they played well, but the delay that hurt them too. They were scoring like constantly. Like every
I
time they got
know.
the ball, they're scoring, and then halftime, and they're from the rain delay for an hour,
Yeah.
thunderstorms and all that. So it was. Now you were at the game.
No, I wasn't at the game.
Okay.
My mom was at the game though.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't at the game either. I stayed there. Tickets were too expensive for one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
the
very
weather.
expensive.
And
Yeah,
I'm
and the weather.
but honestly, I mean, rewatching it the next day and like the highlights and everything. I mean, honestly, the rain delay might have helped them because they came back, after that third quarter and,
Yeah, the
Cowboys didn't
defense
score.
definitely. Yeah, and the defense definitely stepped up after after at halftime and shut Cowboys down instead by
Right,
0 points. So
exactly.
yeah, so any win, I think a win is a win. It's
When
like still early in the season,
I
one
agree.
game. I think
I
we
just
all
like that
should.
we beat the Cowboys first game. I
Yes,
mean,
yes, we
that's
did beat them.
that's good.
That's always good, beating the Cowboys first game. And I think we all kind of fans overreacted 1 week, unless your team just looked bad. But Eagles look good. They got some things to work on. But I feel like now playing the Chiefs again in a rematch is a good measuring point for the season as well. Second week of the year, I think they'll be fine. They get past the Chiefs, we'll be
Right.
we'll
I
be good.
agree.
We're good to go. So.
Anytime
Well,
we also beat the Chiefs, I'm happy.
yes, yes. If we can put a beating on them like we did in the Super Bowl, it would be great to do that again.
Right. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. I have faith. I'm excited. I love
yeah,
Sunday games.
yeah.
So
Me too. Sunday, so, yep. So the Sunday at 4:30, I believe,
yeah.
this weekend. So be on the lookout for that. So Morgan, it's been a pleasure
Oh,
talking
this
with
is so
you.
fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this as well, and thank you again for your time. And you said best of luck with everything. We might run into each other when you're doing a story somewhere. I'm
For
sure
sure.
you might be all over in Philly, and I might be somewhere, and you're like, hey, what's Morgan right
Yeah.
there? So yes, yes. Never know, we might run into each other here in the city. But let everyone know where they can follow you, reach out to you, and follow your stories and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. So I would say I'm most active on Twitter and Instagram. So Instagram, you can find me at MTV Morgan. Twitter, Morgan Parrish TV, and TikTok, MTV Morgan. And I'm more prone to answer Instagram DMs because I see them the most. So if anybody wants to shoot me a story idea or anything coming up or just anything, MTV Morgan on Insta is probably the best way.
All right. So follow Morgan. Like I said, I did. We somehow got in our with our algorithms and things like that, which I'm glad we did. And
Yeah.
like I said, but I've seen you on Good Day Philly as well. So I said, yeah, I want to feature you and have you on the show. So I'm glad we made it work. So
Oh,
uh,
me too. Thank you for
yeah,
having me. This
yeah.
was fun.
Thank you again too for and best of many blessings, best of luck with everything you got coming up. And yeah, and thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. All right, time to figure out what I'm cooking tonight.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, we just talked about food, so you I got to figure that out. So
Yeah,
yeah, for
we'll see.
sure.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned.
All right, stay tuned. Yes. All right. Thanks a
Awesome.
lot, and I'll share this on probably tonight once I do all the editing and stuff. So a
Okay.
couple clips will be up tonight. So
Yay, sounds good. Thank you so much,
all
Courtney.
right. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right. Yep. You have a good weekend.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.